Okay, so here we are. Let's have a look. What have I got here? I'm on my dollar profile. So we've got Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, Kiwi dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen, dollar index. Okay, that's where we are with that. All right, let's look at dollar index. As I said, really, that has been, I think it was saying that's been the worst 6 months for the dollar in, many, 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 many years. Just look at that. Boom, that's the weekly chart. And if I go down to the daily chart, we have continuing to sell off there. That's just, that's a downtrend for the dollar. All right. I thought we might sort of just hold, but it's just bang. It's rolling over and falling away again. If you look at that, the 4 hour chart, look at that. I was saying yesterday, I thought, is there like a double bottom, a double bottom here? This kind of level here, but you can see this morning overnight, bang, clatter, clatter, clatter. That's just, look at that. So the dollar's the big daddy. If it is in a strong downtrend, why would you fight it? Okay, and what we're getting is just confirmation, right? Aussie strength, dollar weakness. Kiwi strength, dollar weakness. Euro strength, dollar weakness. Dollar weakness, CAD strength. Pound strength, dollar weakness. Dollar weakness, yen strength. Dollar weakness, Swiss franc strength. Okay, see how it's just when we're like this, why would you fight it? Okay, why would you fight that? All right, you're not a tier one bank who can afford to basically fade big trends like that because you can hold a position for 5 years before it needs to come good. You are a private trader. Okay, you're expected to be nimble, agile, and adaptable. That's what you're expected to be. And one of the ways you do that, or one of the ways you survive long enough to do that, is, as I said, you just don't fight the big trend. Fighting the big trend is a pretty stupid thing to do. So, when you can see that, it's there in your eyes in front of you. You don't want to be fighting that. You want to be finding a way to, how can I surf that? That's as simple as that. Okay, as we've seen that before we look at sterling, we'll have a little look at Swiss franc because it's top of the pile. Okay, top of the pile. Here we go. Dollar Swiss, pound Swiss, Aussie Swiss, CAD Swiss, gold, Kiwi Swiss, Euro Swiss, Swiss yen. All right, that's what we're looking at there. Let's just put these onto the weekly charts. And really it's just confirming, as we said, look at that. Dollar weakness, Swiss franc strength. Swiss franc strength is the weekly chart. Okay, Japanese yen weakness. Even now, we're getting pound weakness, Swiss franc strength, which we'll look at a little bit more in a moment. Interestingly, okay, Euro Swiss top of the 1 and 2. Okay, look at how they've been for the last 2 months there. This is why, one of the things about the STAM is what I talk about is, don't trade 1v2. Trading strength v strength is a pretty pointless endeavor. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. So here's a smart move. Don't do it. STAM is all about buying strength, selling weakness. Okay. And clearly, that is strength v strength. That is strength v weakness. Okay. Just keep it simple. All right. Don't try and be a smart ass. Okay. Just make it easy for yourself. All right. So Kiwi weakness, Swiss franc strength, Aussie weakness, Swiss franc strength, bang, Swiss franc strength, Canadian weakness. Okay. Don't make these things harder than it needs to be. Just look for that trend and find a way to surf it. All right. You're trying to find a way to surf it. All right. That's what you can see there very clearly from Swiss franc, which is normally an indication that we're risk off. As I said, right at the start, we're hitting highs in the stock market at the same time as starting to move risk off in the in the FX market, which is just it's a curious thing, shall we say?